The side is leaning.
Oh wow. We are on, dude. You pig! Hi everyone and welcome to
Fika for life!
Welcome our studio
Woo!
audience! Woo!
It's live, all the way live.
From Uppsala, Sweden.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop. So dude, how are you?
You're supposed to say what your name is.
My name is Lynn and my co-host is Lamar.
Edward. Ah!
Just how do you call it in English? When you
Energy
drink,
drink.
No, when you drink something really fast.
Oh, when you drink something really fast. That's what it's called in English. You drink something really fast.
No, it has to be a slang word. Like, for example, when people just drink beer really fast or stuff.
I chugged.
Yeah, you chugged that.
I chugged.
Drink.
When did I chug? Who did I chug?
Stop it! You mean.
I took somebody, I put him upside, I was like, chug!
So on the session when we had at 1
Earlier.
o'clock, at 1 o'clock earlier.
You
at
sure it was 1 o'clock?
Yeah, I can read the watch.
Can you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm smart.
Ooh, oh my gosh! Just because you come from Germany, you're always rubbing it in. Just because I come from California, and I was a
Yeah, I
little
don't
surfer
know.
boy, and I was like, "Hey, dude, that was like so gnarly,
Gnarly.
gnarly."
Who uses that word?
Well, I mean, if you could surf, don't they surf in Germany?
No, we have
Uh-huh.
a coast, but it's cold there, isn't it? Like,
You-
and I grew up.
You don't even know. You're like I think we have a coast in Germany.
We have a coast,
People surf there all the time.
But
I
we're-
see people every day.
but we're not at the ocean though.
But maybe Angela Merkel. Maybe she was like out there surfing. I suppose they proved it. Supposed to say, "Wow, you're so holy." And I
No,
was
you're
gonna say,
prude.
"Bing, I got
God
my
ha-
Gloria."
God has created us in our body.
It's an image I don't need to know about.
Are you sure?
Oh, well, let's not.
Let's not go there. Let's not go
We
there.
do not get naked at our church. I just want to tell this to the whole wide
Only
world.
at your own house.
Only the German people who come to our church, they get naked. When they feel the Holy Spirit, they take off their clothes. They're like, Jesus!
Hey, we
Dance
talked
like David.
We
Ah!
talked about that. As long as not everyone else does it, the Germans feel not comfortable to do it either. So okay,
Yes, they lead the way.
they lead the way.
I know, everyone's like, this. The Germans are the little free spirits, yes.
So this part is also live streaming at our culture night here in Uppsala.
No, are people
Cross
watching it
culture.
live?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I didn't fix my hair. Is my makeup on?
What hair? What makeup?
I have makeup on.
My
I'm not
son's
normally
like,
this
"Mama."
brown without my makeup on.
Really?
So for people who are dark skinned, there's a special body shampoo you can take. And
Really?
and it puts highlights all over your whole body.
To make it what?
Wow, I can't believe you would believe that.
They are bronzers that make your body shiny and glittery.
Now, why would a person with this beautiful color need to bronze? What am I going to do? I'm going to get in the shower like,
Well, that's
oh my
nice.
gosh,
We
Lynn,
can-
I'm glowing.
This is
Woo,
perfect
for Jesus, I'm glowing.
what I want to introduce to our listeners
How
and
are you
watchers.
going to talk about?
Yeah,
About
but
how to take a shower?
how the culture nowadays is influenced compared to the time when we grew up. Obviously, when you grew up, you had stone tablets who taught you like what influenced your
The stone
culture.
tablets taught me.
Yeah.
I went to the rock and I said, "Oh, mighty stone tablet." He says, Almost didn't make it to the last century.
Dude, I was born 91, okay?
Oh my gosh, I was born in 1991. I was born in the last century, 1991.
Yes.
I tell you, it's nothing, okay? I was born in the middle. I was born in the 60s. Cool, hippie 60s.
Yeah, so you're nothing.
No, I mean, there's nothing that you were born in the 90s. That's like at the end.
Yeah, which is much cooler.
No.
Yes, it is.
It was not.
Yes.
I tell you.
You're so
everything
petty.
everything was better back in the 70s.
Okay, you go tell me, what influenced your culture when you grew up in the 70s?
The internet.
There was no internet then, especially not for you.
It was. I think there was like some kind of idea that somebody at MIT
The military,
had.
maybe.
Yeah, it was like the internet. It was like GPS.
I don't think even Mark Zuckerberg was born.
Okay,
then.
no. Okay, probably was.
So I don't.
We
really
had
know.
Facebook. It's called the yearbook.
Yeah, that's the Facebook.
You went to the yearbook. You looked for someone's face, and you knew their name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
See, I've always been hip.
When I went to school, I also bought a yearbook every single year.
Me too. I was like into school spirit.
What? But you didn't have like an option.
What do you mean I didn't have an option?
Yeah, because how else would you find out
if
about people?
If you were poor, you didn't buy a yearbook. But if
And
you had
then-
a little bit of money from your paper route, you could buy a yearbook. Like okay,
Here it goes.
I used to deliver papers because back then people could read, and so they could read newspapers.
So now they
Not
don't.
like nowadays, these young people with their iPads and their telephones, and they're like, click, 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 click. They don't know anything. They cannot read. It was so much better before.
They cannot pay attention to more than 10 minutes of content.
10 minutes, oh, you wish. I still do confirmation with a bunch of 14, 15-year-olds. After 30 seconds, like, what? Did you say something?
Wow.
Yeah, it's
It
really
must
bad.
be a really hard time for teachers, like to get them. Hey, focus. Hello, hello. Here.
Did you say something? Sorry, I was going to look at my telephone. Only if your face was square could I really relate to it. And I have to be able to touch it.
I put a screen. Hello, it's me again.
And then I have to like touch your face and be like, dee, 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 dee. Lynn, I'm sorry, I can't interact with you.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, so you
what-
really want to know about the old days, old days, huh?
Yeah.
In the old
Tell
days, we
me.
used to use this, like these coins, these metal like pieces, round thing. They're called coins. And so we, and coins were related to money. And so it wasn't like all this digital. Like I'm just gonna swish you. So for those of you who are watching from around the world, in Sweden we don't use cash.
We
Actually,
do.
Really? Only drug dealers use cash. So Lynn, what do you use your
No,
cash
I don't
for?
think they. I think the
She
drug
thinks.
dealers use Swish. I think so.
Really? Now how would you know that, drug dealer?
Well, I don't know. I'm just guessing. Because not even the,
Breaking news.
Not even
Lynn
the
admits
bus
to being a
drivers.
drug dealer.
I'm a
and hang-
licensed drug dealer.
Oh, that's right. You are a drug dealer.
Ah.
In our church, we let everyone come to our church because we're so interested in people. We even let like drug dealers come in so they can get saved. They can find Jesus. Hallelujah.
I found Jesus before I became a drug dealer. God called me to be a drug dealer.
Wait. Let's back that one up. Say that one more time, Lynn, so all of our fans can know the truth.
I was born again before I became a drug dealer.
Because that's what happens. You meet Jesus, like, since I got to know Jesus, I deal drugs.
Yeah.
Lots of them. And I'm licensed.
Yeah, for the kingdom of God.
Exactly.
Anyway, so you want to tell us about how
what do
is
you
your
wanna know?
culture got influenced? Because nowadays, otherwise we can start how it is nowadays and then work our way back.
Oh, Lynn.
Like an onion.
I'm
we peel.
only 30 years younger than you. I'm older,
Yeah, seems so. 30 years younger, yes?
Yes, my brain is really tired. Okay, so 30 years is really not that long a difference.
It is.
Nah,
This
not
time
really.
in age,
Not
things
really.
have never
It's
accelerated
almost
that
exactly the same.
fast. Mm-hmm.
Like, I used
Did
to
you
dream
live
about
under-
computers.
Did you live under a rock for the last 30 years?
Oh, basically,
Yep.
yeah.
I can see that.
Okay, so my first interaction with computers was that I was taking a computer class, and I was learning this language called Fortran 77.
What's that?
Does anyone know what Fortran is? Fortran is a great computer
Here,
language.
the German girl does.
Of course. She probably wrote the code for it, or her parents did.
She did before she was born.
Before she was born, it's like, here's something, play with it. She's like, oh, this is too simple. I'm sorry, Dad. Don't dumb me down. And back then, we used to have cards. And so you used
Cards?
Yes, you had a shoebox, and you'd have the whole program is on these little punch cards with holes in it, and you have to keep it in order. One day, some knucklehead bumps into me at the university.
And
This is okay, and I'm at college level. I'm not doing this, and my box spilled. You know how long it takes to reorganize your program?
Is it like marked so you know what order it comes, or it's not really?
You have to be able to you can look at the cards, you can kind of read off of them.
Yeah.
Like if you're really good.
Like
I'm not that good. No.
So you were like,
I'm like, well, guess I'm gonna take an F in that class.
oh.
Yeah.
But you couldn't ask the teacher, like.
The teachers are like at the university. This is not. It wasn't Sweden. It was the States.
Okay,
you go to the professor and say, "Oh, excuse me, someone bumped into me. I dropped my cards and I can't get the program done." It's not like in Sweden. Oh, just come back, turn it in whenever you want to. 30 years later, it's okay. This is the States. It's like, oh, I guess you're getting an F. It's not my problem, Mr. Thomas. See you next term. I was like,
well, the teachers are tough enough my program though, because they told me, well, Lynn, if you didn't get it right, well, see you next term. I'm like,
oh, really?
Yeah,
in Sweden.
Yeah, they have been really
tough. What
kind
of non-Swedish teacher is that? Because all my teachers were like, oh, it's okay.
They are all
get done whenever you get done.
But you know our friend Hamida?
Yeah.
I told her, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so desperate. What will happen? I was really shocked. And then she's like, no, it's Sweden. Like, don't worry. She'll be so nice. Like, you can just send in some like essay and it'll be fine. I'm like, no, I don't think so. She's like, yeah, it's fine. Then I told her and she's like, oh, I'm so shocked. You destroyed my worldview.
I know. I remember when I coming here and having to call teachers by their first name. Because I grew up back in the Stone Age where teachers were Mr. Smith, Mrs. Smith. You don't walk in and say, hey, Jane. Jane would take the stick and beat you over the head with it.
Were you beaten at school? No.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, my gosh. The principal would make you, so it's like this. If you had done something and you were like, so.
It was in the 70s.
So I got beat up at school.
Yeah.
And therefore, I was going to get spanked for fighting. I'm like, I did not even hit the person.
So you get spanked at school and at home?
No, because my mom, my mom knows I was a conscientious objector. But if I had hit,
conscientious objector.
Yeah, because I'm so affected by world events. So when Martin Luther King died, I decided to become a conscientious objector and not use violence, because I was so affected by his speeches and then his death and everything. Because when I was alive, Martin Luther King was alive, and I remember that when he died, and I was at school, and so we got sent home. But anyway, and everyone knew that I didn't want to hit anyone, so people would hit me all the time.
Wow.
And then I
test you.
And so in our school, if you got into a fight, so if you were caught fighting, then you got paddled by the principal. But
paddle, like you a sport in Sweden, paddle?
No, it looked like that. It was a giant, big thing with a big hand thing, and so he made me. He's like, okay, well, since you didn't hit him, you get the good paddle, which is the one without the holes in it, and he makes you stand up and you turn around, and he says, grab your ankles, and then he takes the big stick.
No way.
Bam, bam.
How many times?
And you're like this.
You don't have to show our listeners and viewers.
I thought they wanted to see that.
Bum.
They wanted to see that.
They can use the imagination.
No, they wanted to see it. They wrote to me, I want to see how it felt to get beat.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was back in the days where teachers could.
So this is how you got influenced?
Yeah.
Is that how your culture got influenced? Like if you do wrong, you get beaten?
Yeah, I mean, teachers had authority. So like.
Yeah, they had power to beat you.
If you did something stupid, another teacher, Mr. Williams, he would take your knuckles and drive it into the wall, and then he would twist it like this.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds like abuse.
And so when he came, someone was doing something stupid, Mr. Williams is coming, and he would run. Not like in your generation. When the teachers they're like, hey, Bill, we're torturing someone.
How do you know about my generation?
Bill is like, he's like, oh, wow, that's a conflict. I'll just go the other way. Don't play too hard, kids.
In my generation, when I grew up, I mean, the teachers were obviously not allowed to touch us at all, but your classmates definitely could punish you. Vad heter det? Kameratdisciplin or something.
Really?
Yeah. I remember I was I was a 5th grader, and I was like towards the 8th or 9th grader. Oh my gosh! Wow. I got chased through the whole school.
You should have been. If you were that crazy. I was in the 5th grade. I went to the 8th grader. I was like, I don't know why the 8th grader tried to beat me up.
No, but imagine.
Lynn.
Nowadays, I mean, there is no respect in in any of the students, it feels like.
I know.
For anyone older, like even 1 year senior, 2 year senior, adults, forget about the adults, but even like the kids that are older than you, that you're close with, they go to the same school, you see them every day at the playground or the schoolyard, they're like, no problem. And I just think they just need a good beating.
You know what?
Shh, I'm not saying that people should beat other people, but I'm just saying.
I remember Mrs. Diamond. She would walk down the hall with a yardstick. So a yardstick is about 1 meter long, made out of wood, solid wood. And she'd walk down the hallway. You chewing gum, smack, right on your bum. Then you're doing something really crazy. Like if you're a guy and you're trying to touch a girl, she's like, "Excuse me, pervert!" Bam. I tell you.
But that's a bit too.
No,
too tough.
but she had law and order. That's what we need today. Law and order.
You know, people could.
We should try it in church.
People could argue, though, that this was not law and order. It wasn't the respect. It was fear.
No, it was. It was respect. You saw Mrs. Diamond. You knew, oh, if I'm not doing anything dumb, then it was okay. But the only reason you were afraid of her is because you were clowning. You were acting like a knucklehead. And that's why you were law and order.
Do you say that's law and order?
Yes.
People nowadays would call that abuse.
That's because nowadays people are all soft nowadays. It's not like it was back in the good old days.
The good old days. When people got beat all the time.
I mean, your buns. I mean, by the time you were like 5 or 6 years old, you formed a nice callus on your butt, and you couldn't feel anything. It's like, bam.
So would you also take like a fila and just like... What's a feeler in English?
A file.
A file and just file away.
She doesn't mean taking a feeler. She means taking a file.
I like a file and file away the callus.
No, you want it there for protection.
Wow.
No, but I don't really feel like my life has changed that much compared to someone who was born in like, oh look, it's a tie.
He's like, I want a beating.
No, he's like, shh. I could do that better than my mom, man. She's whacked. And he's like, give me the microphone. No, but I think like someone who's born like in the 30s probably has seen like way more changes. I mean, because I grew up like in the age of like anything is possible because you have like people going to the moon.
Mm-hmm.
So
that was a big deal.
Yeah, you probably don't remember like, you don't remember because you weren't born.
I wasn't born then.
But it was like a big deal, the whole idea that someone could actually take a rocket ship up to the moon and the whole world is watching and you're seeing history in the making and you're just like, wow,
we are living history.
They're on the moon.
We are living through the corona pandemic. I don't
know what we're living through right now.
Today is it 20 years since September 11th.
Really,
in the
20
US.
years?
Yes, that's today.
That was really sad because I was here in Sweden. And I felt so bad. I'm like, I should be at home protecting my country, and like all the Swedish people were like,
would you be
and all the Swedish people are like, I don't get it. Why are you so upset? I'm like, someone's attacking America, and they're like, so?
Like,
I'm like, if someone's attacking Sweden, would you be upset? And they're like, no. They're like, I don't understand. I'm like, oh my gosh, these people are so unpatriotic.
Yeah.
But, that's one of the differences. So I grew up as a very patriotic American. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
So brainwashed.
Oh, yeah. I even pledged allegiance to the Christian flag. I mean, I was, like, really into allegiance.
You were like the bubble. You were in the Christian bubble.
Hey, I was in the Christian bubble.
What is that like? How your culture...
Bible. Yes, that's the book for me.
Oh,
I stand alone on the word of God. The Bible.
Wow. So
like
this is...
That was back in the 60s when I learned that song.
But does it mean that you were only influenced by Christian culture then? And was that only through your family and through school?
I mean, I grew up in America in the 60s, 70s, until I left America. But the Christian culture was pretty much the culture. So, I mean, everyone... just everyone... Like,
everyone was in church then.
Yeah, I mean, back then it was like 80% of the country was in church. Mm-hmm. So I hardly ever met anyone who didn't go to church on Sunday.
So you would say that your culture predominantly was influenced by Christianity?
Very much so.
At that time?
Yeah. I mean, I would say that growing up in the States back in the 60s and 70s, it was very much a lot of, it was a lot of Christianity, and it was probably a lot of because everything new started to happen back then. So compared to my mom's generation, I mean, because by the time I was in high school, so in the late 70s and late 70s, then that's when like you got an Atari at home, you had a Commodore 64.
What's that?
Oh my gosh, it's like
Stone Age, I told you.
you people don't know your history, don't get.
It's not my history, you American man.
So the Atari, it was a TV game, and like the first one. So I remember playing Pong. You probably don't remember playing Pong, huh?
No, I only know the restaurant. Yum yum Pong.
No. It was a game, yeah, silly. No, but Pong, it was like it was a little square ball that went back and forth, and you had two little paddles.
Yeah, but I played that.
Yeah, okay.
Like you have to
See, I knew you were old. Always trying to pretend like you're young.
I think you could play that on Nokia, like the small Nokia.
No, I mean, and like you went to the arcade, and you sat down in front of a big square.
Oh, you had an arcade.
Yeah, you put money into it.
Was this like the place where you would hang?
So I grew up, like you didn't have computer games or anything like that at home in the beginning. So you went to the arcade.
Me neither.
And so the arcade, you went there, and then you put your quarters in. So I would save up my money for my paper route. And then on Fridays, my friend, not on Friday, sorry, on another day of the week, because I went to church on Fridays, my youth group. But my friend Nathan and I, shout out to Nathan Yost. And we would go to Colonel Mustard's. We got
Colonel Mustard's?
Yeah, it's a hot dog place. And you get these grilled, super, really good hot dogs, extra
Please
spicy
don't talk
mustard.
About food. I'm hungry.
Really?
Yes.
Oh. Well, I better not breathe on you then, because okay. And then we would take our quarters. We would always have $10 of quarters saved up.
Wow.
That was a lot of money back then. And then we go to the arcade, and then we would play like Centipede, and we would play Space Invaders. But that was long after. But Pong was the first thing. And I remember playing Pong and thinking like that was the most amazing. Like we would spend hours with a line that went beep, beep, beep. I mean, it seems so silly nowadays. But back then it was like super advanced. And so I grew up in that area where all this new stuff was like things that never existed before. And so for me, it doesn't feel like it's that big of a change because I was growing up as the change was happening. So it's easier, I think, for my generation to be open to, you want to go run over there? Because I know how moms are,
No.
It was my mom. She'd be like over there, oh, what's happening
No,
with
we
my
in
child?
Sweden, there is gender equality.
That means Eunice is taking care.
I didn't do anything. I was just looking over.
You look over, all of a sudden it got quiet.
Oh.
Because he's like, I better run over there quick. Lynn's going to fix me up like Mrs. Diamond.
No. Actually, it's not my baby, maybe.
Oh, that's not your baby?
No, it's
that was your
Petra's
baby.
baby.
Aha.
I can hear with my baby.
Oh, you're almost like you're like an emperor penguin.
What?
An emperor penguin. So in the penguin colony, there's lots of penguins out there.
Thank you.
And then they go out and they eat fish and they come back. But they can hear like their own baby penguin. And they can distinguish the baby penguin, their baby penguin, from all the other baby penguins, which to me, they all sound like.
So cute. And then a bird feed them. Yeah.
Wow. I'm never eating at your house anymore. And now I know what's in that
will
soup.
not
We had
baby
soup.
feed you.
We had soup today.
I did not baby feed you the soup, so.
Lynn's like, we're making soup.
No, I didn't. And then that's
If you come to our church, don't eat the soup. I'm just telling you.
in
Be
this
careful.
case, Timmy did that.
Oh, that's even worse. He doesn't have a mother's love.
He has a father's love, maybe.
Well, maybe one day he will.
So
Not now.
when I grew up, I mean, when I told you before we started the program that I joined Facebook 2007,
Yeah, which
and
I thought was really late.
and I was 16.
Yeah, I always forget how young you are.
Yeah, so I was
Actually,
16,
I think that
so
we're almost the same age.
no.
Yeah, I'm
No.
not.
No.
I'm
No.
not counting
No.
our age, but I'm
No.
saying it feels
No.
like we're the same age.
No,
It feels like.
no.
No, I guess you're
No.
right. I am more mature. But
Okay.
almost.
Yeah.
Okay, so
we let it stand.
when you
like
were
this.
16, you went on Facebook.
That's the first time
And
I
you put your
went
name
on,
out there.
on social media.
Did
And
anyone
I mean,
contact you?
but what I mean is,
wait.
until
Who
16,
contacted you?
no one.
Oh.
There were no pervs on that.
I thought it was
at
like
that
a
time.
story or something. Like someone
No.
says, "Hey, Lynn, I saw you at the mall, and I just want to tell you, this is Gunther, from down." Isn't Gunther like a German name?
Yeah, like for old people. Like your age.
Oh, got you. Maybe it was Gunther.
Oh no! Like there were pervs out there, I'm sure, but
Oh, okay.
not contacting me now.
So what happened? You got on Facebook.
No, but the thing is, like, until I was 16, my primary culture was like the local culture, like school, and I didn't have a computer until I was like 11 or 12, so I didn't have internet before I maybe was 14 or 15.
I see.
So you see, I was outside playing with the other kids, and I mean, we were supposed in school. We were supposed to go and get a newspaper and like find a new newspaper article. We went to the library with the school, and that was our like this is where we got our information from, and it was really important. It was really important to know the alphabet so you could find stuff in the encyclopedia because there was no Wikipedia by then.
Say that word again. What was that last word? You're trying to find stuff in the what?
Encyclopedia.
Encyclopedia. Encyclopedia.
Encyclopedia.
Now that's much better.
No,
I really just want to go to sleep. No, but that's quite interesting because I would assume that someone in your generation would know what an encyclopedia was, or how to use the catalog at the library, where you have to look at books.
When I grew up, you still had a telephone book.
Oh, yeah, okay. Really? Okay, so
when I was 10, I got my first phone.
Oh, really?
So I jumped over. My parents didn't got me the Nokia that was like colorless. Yeah. I got a 4-color, I don't know which brand anymore, 4-color phone. And then by that time, you still had the advertisement where you could buy like the pictures and the ringtones for tons of money.
I know.
Where you had to send
I did that. I spent a lot of money on my first phone.
And get all of this stuff on your phone.
So I would say like my life didn't really change until I moved to Sweden in 1996. Because before that, I never owned a computer. Mm-hmm. I never had my own telephone. So all those kind of things I didn't have when I lived in the States. And then I moved to Sweden, and all of a sudden there's this like, for me, a mobile phone, that was something that rich people had in a gigantic box, a big telephone. They carry around and weighed like 20 kilos or something. One side of your arm would be really big. The other side would be like all like wasted away. and like rich people, hey, I'm on a telephone. And then I moved to Sweden, and all of a sudden, I remember I'd been in Sweden for a year, and I was studying gospel music. And my friend introduced me to ICQ.
I used ICQ.
Did
it
you?
was fun. Like
See,
ICQ,
I told you we're like the same.
MSN Messenger.
No, I never used Messenger. I didn't use Messenger until I started here in Cross Culture.
But now you're talking about Facebook Messenger. But I'm talking about MSN Messenger.
There was an MSN Messenger?
Yeah, before Facebook.
Really?
Yeah, Jonas and me wrote tons on it.
No, I think
ICQ I wrote with my other boyfriends on the side.
Of course. Of course you're writing to boys.
So
we know you, Lynn.
So I don't confuse myself.
Oh, okay, sorry. You have to separate categories. No, but I had my ICQ number. I think I don't even remember it anymore, but I still have it written down somewhere just in case I might need it someday.
Oh, you know what was also a big thing when I grew up? Chat rooms.
Yeah. Okay, so before...
So people, you children who don't know what chat rooms are.
Chat rooms were the bomb. You sit on the computer and you chat. You write messages.
You had a nickname?
Yeah.
Like Honey Bunny or...
I just call myself
or
Edward Thomas.
Or Edward 74.
No one ever called themselves Edward Thomas. So I'm like, Edward Thomas. So in the 90s, I was Edward Thomas. I was on Luna Storm. So Luna... So I don't know if it was outside of Sweden. I don't know. Anna Karin. Oh no, you're too young. You don't know what Luna Storm is either. Did you have Luna Storm? Yeah. Was it ever outside of Sweden? Okay. So I've had So Luna Storm. Luna Storm was the bomb, wasn't it? It was so much fun. Oh my gosh. It was just this chat thing that only mostly just teenagers use, but because I work with youth. Because I work with the youth, I'm not
on Luna Storm.
It's not what it sounds like. Here I am. Hey kids.
I'm a 14-year-old boy.
Oh my gosh. No.
Yes.
And so there was Luna Storm, and I had Build a Dog Bookin'.
Yeah.
So Build a Dog Bookin', it's like you could write. It was like a dog book. It's like a diary. And you would write stuff.
But that was public, though.
Yeah, it was public.
So it's like the Facebook status.
It was before. Well, you had to have people who were part of that group or whatever, and you would put pictures, and so it was before Facebook. So it was really advanced and stuff for that time.
Schul-VZ. Or Schüler-VZ. I had Schüler-VZ. Did you have it? Schüler-CC.
And for those of you guys who don't know what that is, Schüler-VZ is not one of her boyfriends.
It was like Facebook.
Okay.
For younger ones.
Okay.
Schüler-CC.
Yeah.
I used SchülerVZ when I was young, and then Facebook came, and I've never been to SchülerVZ. I don't even know my in-log. I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things died. Like when Facebook came out, I thought Facebook was like okay, so I was ICQ, and then there was this Christian chat site, and so people would get on there.
On ICQ?
No, it was on it was on something else. I can't remember what medium we used for that. But I remember like at school, because it was a school we were in. Some people were in like Bibellinjen, so they were going to like Bible classes, but we were in the gospel side.
Oh my gosh.
And so but people would get on there who were like atheists. And so you would sit and you would talk to people about Jesus, and people were like, so you would have these long conversations, and we thought it was like it's like, I just talked to somebody in Argentina about Jesus. And like you felt really important and big. It was like so much fun. So,
wow.
So do you guys have any, I mean, now that we have a live audience, we should maybe, do you guys have any questions for us, or anything you want us, a problem in life that you want us to solve with our great wisdom?
Like how to find your passport for SchülerVZ.
Yeah. No, not SchülerVZ.
But isn't there also a site for students? Yeah. So there was.
So what is
VZ means Verzeichnis.
Okay, so faucet means
No,
Verzeichnis.
it's Faust. It's V and Z. VZ, Verzeichnis. It's like a content table.
Okay.
So you could find people in there and which school they went to, and then you could write like your hobbies and what your favorite subject is, like school-related stuff.
Okay, that was pretty cool. I wish I had that.
It was like the old school Facebook, because I think Facebook started as a student thing.
Oh, was it? I don't remember.
Haven't you seen the movie about Mark Zuckerberg?
No.
We should do that.
It's
part of culture.
Because I don't want it to ruin my experience with Facebook, which is very
But you know that
personal.
we're really old, that we are still using Facebook, because all the young kids are like, what? You're using Facebook? Are you Instagram, Snapchat?
I'm there too.
TikTok is a new thing.
I have a TikTok account, but I don't know how to use it. I'm like, what am I going to do a dance or something?
Yeah.
I'm like, here I am at church.
I don't even use Twitter, because I feel like, who cares about what I gotta say?
I figure that everyone wants to know what I have to say. So maybe I'm just really self-absorbed. I don't know.
But what is it you're following nowadays from social media? Do you follow any person or any channel?
Shando. Hey, Shando.
What's Shando?
So there was an actress. Oh, now I forgot her name. Shannon Doherty from 901-210 Beverly Hills, whatever it was called.
Wait. I've also watched Beverly Hills when I was a kid.
And so, but
probably reruns.
So Shannon, she's on Instagram, and she's talked about like how she's got cancer, and so I follow her posts and everything, and I'm constantly writing to her. I'm like, hey, thanks for being so inspiring, or stuff like that. So I keep chatting with her like it's a real friend. I know she doesn't know who I am.
Oh,
but
that's so cute.
But that's actually one of the people I'm following. I used to follow Anna Anka, because she helped me lose weight before I went back up again.
You tell her, Anna, I need you.
And I'm like, Anna, please save me. Swedish Fika, it's killing me. And so, and then I follow a lot of my friends and stuff. I follow our church thing and stuff. But
no famous people.
No.
I follow on YouTube. I follow Mama Dr. Jones. She's the OBGYN in the US. And she answers lots of questions about OBGYN related stuff.
Oh.
And then, hey, baby.
Hey, Ty. This is Lynn's husband, the one who's afraid of her.
Hello.
So
no, she said, don't put this into the world. People already think weird about Sweden.
Run, Eunice. Save yourself.
And I also follow Dr. Mike. Do you know Dr. Mike? He has been really on TV, even in the US.
The only doctor I would follow is Dr. Phil.
He's not even a doctor, you know that?
He's doctor for me.
I like to watch all those short clips on Dr. Phil. They're funny.
Yes.
And then I also follow, what's it called? Daily Wire. Do you know that? With Ben Shapiro. And
no. You listen to all kinds of weird stuff.
No, they're like a really American conservative group.
Oh, that's why I don't listen to them then.
I like some of their things, but not everything, because I think some things are like really like too far
too crazy,
conservative,
too way out there.
And a lot of very specific to America. They hate socialism, for example. I'm like,
yeah, I don't understand. What is this thing? People, Americans, socialism is the bomb. It don't go so bad like you have to. I mean,
no, they're like, look at Venezuela. Hey, what's their socialism?
Yeah.
Look how it's going for them.
Look at Sweden. I go to the doctors. I'm not getting broke going to the doctors. Woo! Except when I put the picture a couple of days
that's why
ago.
where people are like,
I'm just like,
oh,
are
something's
you
wrong.
dying?
You're
I'm like,
dying.
what? Like,
why else would you afford this?
I'm like, because it doesn't cost me anything. That's why they can just check up and make sure I'm okay. You know.
Yeah. So that's
whatever.
what I'm following.
Really?
That's what I'm following.
No, but I guess I'm so busy doing my own stuff. So I have like a YouTube channel. If anyone wants to know more about our church and ministry in Sweden, I do have a YouTube channel where I try to explain.
How's it called?
It's called Edward Thomas.
It's called Edward Thomas.
My YouTube channel is called Edward Thomas.
Okay.
That's because I start things like I get on things really early,
Yeah.
so I could just name them Edward Thomas, and then I don't use them for years. But because I already got the name locked in, no one else can use it. So it's kind of funny. So
wow, dude.
either Edward Thomas or I say Ed for Biscop. So like on Instagram, I'm Ed for Biscop.
Yeah.
Ed for Biscop because I always wanted to be the first black bishop of the Church of Sweden.
Well, you're not.
That is not giving me. I'm not even close. People are like, Edward who? Is there a black priest in Sweden?
Like
what?
Thomas? What's his last name?
No, exactly.
Thomas?
It's Edvard Thomas. Thomas, är du här? Thomas? No, that's my last name. No, in Sweden, Thomas, that's like the first name. No, it's the last name. No. Thomas. I mean, my name is not Thomas, it's Edward. What?
That's
okay.
why you're not.
Edvard.
That's why you're not going for Biscop, because you have to change your name to Thomas.
No,
you can be Thomas.
Everyone would be like, what's the bishop's name? Bishop
Thomas?
Edvard. Oh, Edvard. Oh, Biscop Edvard. Okay. Oh, that's a lot better.
Well, I think if you would adopt certain views on the Bible and Christian lifestyle, I think you could be Biscop.
If I take from our last episode, I'll just have a little more gospel, and I'll just like, because in the Church of Sweden, Jesus wants you, sister.
No. You know, less Jesus.
Oh, less of that. Okay, sorry.
More, God is good.
That's
he
not
loves
true.
you.
I'm a conservative priest in the Church of Sweden. I get to preach whatever I want.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. For the most part. When no one's listening. No, I'm just kidding.
Now
I'm kidding. Church of Sweden. It's just a joke. It's a funny show. Lighten up.
Don't be cranked.
Don't kränk inte mig.
You know what kränkt is? Tell the listeners that are checking in now.
So if you're saying, we have this word in Sweden which means to be violated and offended at the same time, and the word is kränkt.
Yeah.
And so if you use the K word first, you're like, sorry, I used it first. So now, like if I say Lynn, du kränker mig.
So now I have to worship him. Like I'm so sorry. I'm such a bad person.
And she can't say, nej,
but
du kränker mig. Nope. So whoever uses kränk first, they own it. They win.
They have the moral high ground.
Yeah, you're just a bad person. So that's how we use it. We use it at church to shame people. No, just
so
kidding.
how do you feel about how the culture is influenced nowadays? Because it's Culture Night. So
okay.
How do you feel like it's?
Well, I mean, I think that
influenced?
I think that one of the things, like, I think our church is like, we were cutting edge 10 years ago because there was no other multicultural church in Sweden. I mean, in Uppsala, and now Sweden's become so multicultural, so we kind of fit in. Now we're like in the time. Before we were ahead of time. Now we're like in the time, and I feel like, some of the good things is like you have food from around the world. Food has become better in Sweden. There's more variety to food and things like that. So I think that's kind of a good thing about culture.
When you came to Sweden, I mean, you went to the northern part of Sweden.
Yes.
Which was very homogeneous. Do you say that?
Yeah, it was like milk. Yeah, it was homogenized.
Homogenized.
No, it was homogeneous.
Homogeneous. Could you find exotic food, exotic spices up there?
They thought anything other than salt and pepper was exotic. So, all right.
Take it from the boys.
We have the kids out here
playing. Give the boys something else, like wood.
That's because this is really a live audience. That's why you hear like kids in the background crying.
Yeah.
And you hear them, now they're like building things. They're like trying to build their own version of the Eiffel Tower, because that's what, these kids come from smart parents. So if they were my kids, they'd be like, where's the paper bag? But these kids, they're all like, let's build the Eiffel Tower. See?
Hello.
He's coming. Say something.
He's like, nope. Yeah?
Yeah. He's like, get that thing on my face. That's not my mama. He's like, where is my mama? So this is one of our little pauses. So for those of you who don't know anything more about us, if you want to contribute to Fika for Life. Oh, okay, we're back. So
Cross culture.
I was gonna just make a post about something.
Do that.
So you couldn't check me, so I can like come in with my spice.
Send it to Edward Thomas.
Yes, I am cross culture. Okay. No, but we're talking about different things that influence us nowadays, and like I think nowadays, like it doesn't really matter that I'm 30 years older than you, because it's sort of even out. It's like we both have a Facebook account, Instagram. We're both. I mean, you listen to all these famous people that I would never listen to, but
I even started following Britney Spears after the Free Britney thing, and now I see her post. I'm like, maybe I'll unfollow her because I don't want to see naked pictures all the time.
Of Britney?
You go check out her Instagram.
Well, thank you for leading me down the path of sin. But I'll check first to make sure it's sinful. No, but I think that we're affected by now I think everyone's affected by the same thing. So you have a smartphone?
Yes.
I have a smartphone. You have.
That's about it.
That's the only way we have in common. No, but I think like I think everything now. I think everyone is affected by everything, so it's sort of evened out. Like in the beginning, it was like old people were like, "Oh, how can I use the internet?" And now you have like old people who are like vlogging, and old people have like TikTok accounts and everything.
I haven't seen.
Haven't seen that?
No.
There's this cute old lady, and she does these dances on TikTok, and I mean, and it's like so cute, and so you have to just like follow her.
Oh, I follow this Azerbaijani couple who cooks.
Is that the old people?
Yeah.
And they're out like and they're doing everything outside.
Yeah.
I know. Isn't that so amazing? Like every time it's like 20 minutes long, but I have to watch the whole 20 minutes. I can't. I'm like glued, and they're like, so they take the wood.
I mean, and the thing is, they're not talking though.
I know.
It's just like you're observing what they're doing, and the camera is really well.
But I'm thinking, like, how do they communicate? Because I know if it was me and my wife, she'd be like, well, Edward, the fire's not hot enough. And why are you doing it this way? You know, this is why, Edward, is there too much pepper in there?
They look like they've done this for decades.
I know. They're like.
It's not like their first time.
It's like, woman, I don't need to talk anymore. She's like, good.
But
and they just like.
You know, the woman is doing most of it, and the man are doing more like the manual putting the fire together.
He puts the fire together. He does his manly duties.
Manly duty, putting the fire together.
No, but sometimes, like especially like when they're making. Because sometimes they'll make something, I'm like, ooh, that looks so good. Like
all they're doing looks so good.
I would love, and it looks so natural and so healthy. So it's between that one and then watching, there's a couple of women in China. So there's one in Sichuan and another one in Yunnan. And I'm like, Jesus, take me from Sweden. Please don't call me here anymore. Let me go to China.
Send me to China.
I want to go out there. Because they're like out in the nature.
You have never been to China?
No, because you guys won't sponsor me. Church is all cheap. Anyone who wants to feel sorry for me before I die, I grew up outside of Chinatown praying for China, and now I'm never going to get a chance to go and visit the object of my prayer unless you decide to give money.
When you marry...
Shh, wait a minute, I'm making my pitch. Unless you decide to give money to the... And if you feel sorry for me, please give a lot of money so I can go to Yunnan and eat and get fat.
Fatter.
Yes. Really, if you guys, you need someone to follow you along, because if you don't have a black guy in China with you, I mean, how are you guys going to have a good honeymoon? You got to have somebody there.
Honeymoon? Why would you go there with their honeymoon? They're going to Japan for their honeymoon.
Are you guys going to Japan for your honeymoon? Yunnan.
So
Sichuan.
wherever you will not go, they will go.
That's where they're going to go. Like, nah, it's just too much. We need peace.
Okay, Eddie's going to China.
Exactly.
Wherever you go, we won't be going there.
No, but I find that I'm fascinated by a type of cooking that seems to really be organic and natural. So that's one of the things I'm almost addicted.
Yeah, I like to watch it too.
Yeah, and it's so like one day she was making these things called hairy tofu, and so the thing is she went on and picked her soybeans.
Oh, I've seen.
And then she grinds the soybeans. She comes home, she grinds the soybeans, and then she makes the milk,
tofu,
and then she makes the tofu, and then she leaves the tofu out until the whole tofu grows hair like mine.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm like, oh. And then she fries it. I'm like, I wonder. And I asked Bulin if he's ever had hairy tofu, and he's like, nope. I'm like, I don't even think he's really Chinese if he's never had hairy tofu.
He's from the city, though. He's from Shanghai.
That's right. He's not from the countryside.
No.
Bulin, you have to introduce me to some people from the countryside because I want to eat hairy tofu.
There are a lot of Chinese people.
From the so okay. I'm going to Germany. I don't need to go to China. I'm going to Germany. I'm going to Germany and meet some Chinese people from the countryside and eat hairy tofu. I want to be fresh.
But not sure that they are making it by themselves.
Well, if they don't make it, I'm not going to be their friend.
Well, can't you just like take the normal tofu and try to make it hairy?
No, but she leaves it. But she leaves it outside, and then it grows hair, and I'm like really fascinated by that.
That's a fungi.
I know it's a fungus.
It's mold.
I don't think my wife would ever go for that. Edward, what do you have outside? It's my hairy tofu. It's like, it's done. Divorce.
You're
I'm
like,
leaving you.
Put it in your bokashi.
Exactly.
If you guys are interested in bokashi, it's a form of composting, and Ed is obsessed with it. We did a podcast about bokashi. So
yes. If you come to my house and you throw away something in the garbage can, I will go in the garbage can, take it out, and put it into my bokashi container.
Do you know that I consider to have worms, like a worm box?
Yeah, me too.
But then
Jonas won't let me have it.
But then Jonas said, "Well, you have to ask permission for the
you don't.
the housing." Yeah, he does, because you need a permission to take care of your own waste.
No.
Yes.
Jonas.
He's Swedish. He knows.
Jonas, you have övertolkat lagen. It's not true. I know lots of people.
I want to have a warm box on the balcony.
Yeah, because a warm bin is really easy to take care of.
Yeah,
because you put all your scraps in there. And but if you do bokashi first and then put it in there, then you could do onions and everything. But bokashi is really easy.
I don't like bokashi.
I'm gonna help you with that.
It stinks.
That's my new present for you guys. You guys get a bokashi box for me.
My birthday's in 2 weeks.
Oh, you get bokashi.
No.
Yes.
I don't
I'll even
want
save
it.
my bokashi juice for you,
Oh,
so you can have it.
It's nasty.
You can have a drink of it. So.
Ugh.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. So I think like even though we come from two different generations,
Different cultures. We like the same thing.
I know. We're like, but I think that's the whole thing. I think globalization has sort of evened everything else. So I mean, when I was a few years ago, when I was in Africa, my first trip to Africa, and I was in Tanzania, and I was out among the Maasai, and the Maasai, they had like smart telephones. And they were like communicating with their bank and everything, and I'm like, we're out, no lights, no electricity.
But they have Wi-Fi?
There's no, I don't know what they have in Tanzania, but they were communicating. I mean, and there was like no toilet, like running water toilets. It was just a hole in the ground with scary spiders that come out and go, and just challenge you. But the Maasai had telephones, and they could communicate with the other villages and other people through their smartphones. And so I think a lot of things have evened out now because of where we're at with technology.
Information flow.
Yeah, so I think it's kind of cool though that people like in different generations.
But what are the countries that are censored? Because the first time Jonas went to Vietnam in 2010, we couldn't access Facebook.
Yeah, I thought that was really weird because in China they don't have Facebook either, I don't think.
No, but now, I mean, I think only a couple of years after Jonas went there first time, it was no problem. Like, people are selling stuff on Facebook now. They use it
Maybe it's Jonas. Jonas is the one, he broke through the government's
wall.
ban. He's like, well, I mean, Jonas has been here, so, I mean, we have to allow Facebook now because of Jonas. So, yeah.
And I think they also use TikTok. Yeah, there was some
TikTok
person
comes from China, so... That's why the last president of the United States tried to ban TikTok, because he's like, the Chinese are spying. I'm like, with what? Kids dancing? I'm like, okay,
apparently,
whatever.
No, it's like the cookies they're feeding to your phone. They get access to your microphone, to camera.
Let them have everything. I have nothing to hide.
Well, you don't, but some people do.
My life's an open book. Well, obviously you do. Linear path is coming up. But I think
the problem is also with social media nowadays that younger people are accessing it, and their brains haven't developed fully.
Yeah. That is the bad thing, is that all that information is accessible. Before it used to be difficult. You had to mature before you can find all this stuff, and now your mind is being corrupted by all this like unfiltered waste, So.
And I mean, what about the misinformation?
Yeah.
There's a lot of misinformation about all kinds of things there.
Well, I mean, look at all the adults out there who are like, Edward, you just got vaccinated and you're magnetized by the Antichrist. I'm like, okay, yes. Because the Antichrist is throwing coins at me, saying, look, he's one of mine. The quarters are sticking to his head. And then it's like 666. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever, people. Okay, well, we're back to our audience. We asked you guys hey, audience.
They're busy.
Now they stop looking at us. Sorry, if you don't give us attention, we get really sad here. So look at us all the time.
So Ed, this is how you work with your kids, like you shame them.
Always.
If you don't listen to me, I'm going to be really sad.
Like, I'm sorry that you don't want to clean and do dishes after all I sacrificed for you and tried to just give you a good life.
I worked so hard.
So you don't have to be in the ghetto like I did. Okay, Dad, we'll do whatever you say. It's like, yeah, paint the house. Put a new roof on it. Okay, we only have a few more minutes left on this live podcast. You sure you guys don't have any questions about anything in life? I mean, real questions. Things that are on your mind. What do you want to know about? Ask us about relationships. We're really good at that. Yes, come on, Ty. Ask me about your relationship. he's like,
Well, you can talk about kids.
I saw this little girl, and I think she was like apple pie, and I don't know how to approach her. I'm like, well, Ty, what you do is you go up to her, you do your baby walk.
I can ask you one thing.
What? I was gonna say. Then he's like, and then she'll go, and then you know, like you got it going on.
What I want, yeah. So yesterday we had dinner with our neighbors outside, and
free. Like the neighbors wanted to come to dinner.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a bit strange because they have a daughter that's 1 year older than my daughter.
Yeah.
And she's going to preschool class because in Sweden you not only have preschool and school, you have a preschool class that belongs to the school, but they are doing a lot of things that you do in preschool. Anyway. So
it's like before you get to preschool.
No, before you go to school. It's preschool class. Anyway.
Preschool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you for explaining it in Swedish. I didn't really understand that stuff in English.
Oh my gosh. Anyway.
Okay.
But the weird thing is that the daughter, obviously they have classmates, and the mom was like, so which of the boys do you like? And like, so do you like this guy or do you like this guy better?
A year older than Numi?
Yeah, like she's 6 and
Shoo.
And I didn't say anything, but I just felt it was strange. Like,
what did the father do? Did he not take out his gun and go, wow, there will be no boys. Look at my daughter.
But
keep
she
the
was
boys
like,
away.
But the mom was like, so do you like him? And she's like, yeah, I like this guy. And I'm like, is it because he's nice? Like, yeah, he's nice.
Gosh.
And I'm like, but this kid also said before, like, Mommy, I don't want you to be a grandma. She said, Mommy, I don't want you to be a grandma. Why not? Like, why not? Like, no, I don't want you to be a grandma. I don't want to marry. And it's really strange, but I don't want to have kids because, and then I can live with a woman. I can live with more women. And then she's like, you can be 2 women. And so strange because this is a kid, and I felt like.
The kid's only, 5 years old?
6. She's 6. Wow. I was like, wow, this kid's brainwashed from somewhere. Because I know the parents are not like that. Yeah.
Really?
Teach about.
But wait. Okay, excuse me. Old man here. What 6-year-old is walking around going, I don't want to have babies? Like they know where babies come from. And then how they decide they want. When I was 6 years old, I was beating on a pot in the kitchen going,
yeah, I can see that.
Oh, yeah, this is having fun. Like, who was interested? Like, oh, you know what? I'm 6 years old, and I see that little girl over there, and I think that she looks like she's got good childbearing hips. I think I'd like to marry her. I should go to approach her family and say, hey, I'd like to be married to your daughter sometime in the future. Can we just write up that contract now?
No. My daughter, she's not asking about how do kids come about, but she wondered where the kids came from because obviously she got.
But then she's wondering how they came about.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't ask how do they come about.
She just assumes you go out to the baby tree and
No.
them?
She knows that the baby is in my stomach, and then I push the baby out. And this is how you get a baby.
Wow, when I was maybe because I come from another generation when we didn't have information, but I think if my mother,
the parents didn't share it with you.
At 5 years old, my mom would have said, your brother's in here, and I pushed him out. I'd be like, oh gosh. I would never touch my brother. I'd be like, he's got cooties.
No, I told Nomi too, and she's like, Mommy, so I was in your stomach. That's why you're fat. And then she's like,
wait, is that why she's always poking me in my stomach?
And then
she
says,
thinks I have a baby in here.
I hope not. And then she knows that only women can have babies.
Well, maybe she thinks I'm a woman with hairy face.
No. Okay. And then she always says, Mommy, I'm number 1, and Itai is number 2. I'm like, yeah, that's correct. You were there first, and then your brother came. But
wow. She really had to establish that order thing. Yeah. She's like, I'm number 1. Who's number 1? You knew me. All right, I'm number 1. Who's number 2? A tie.
Yeah, but I mean,
Wow. Where did she get that from?
I follow also Jordan Peterson, by the way.
Who's that?
Oh my gosh, Jordan B. Peterson. You should go check it out, man.
No, I'm sorry.
He has some good advice for you. Get your life together.
What, I was going to say.
Stop wasting your time.
Does he have anything to say about old people?
He must be almost your age.
But you know what it is? I think because a lot of the people that I really admired have died.
And
I feel like there's
one.
this big gap. I mean, ever since Michael Jackson died, I've been looking for direction in life, and I just don't know what to do, and I feel so lost, and I'm like, who am I going to look up to? Who's going to moonwalk for me when I die? Now that the king is gone,
Well, you still have Madonna and Britney Spears. You still have the Queen of Pop.
Okay.
You had the King of Pop died, and the Princess of Pop
but
still
the Queen
around.
of Soul, Aretha Franklin.
Well, can't have it all.
And James Brown. I mean,
you're gonna find a new kingdom.
There's all
Tupac.
these. Oh my gosh! You know what? There was some famous person that died. I didn't know they died, and I felt really bad because everyone was talking about their
Whitney
death.
Houston.
Oh, Whitney. Oh my gosh. I used to think Whitney was so hot when she first came out with her first thing. I was like, I'm gonna meet Whitney Houston. She's gonna be mine. And then she met Bobby. I was like, how can she be with Bobby? I mean, Ed Thomas. Bobby Brown is nothing.
You
Ed
have Rihanna
Thomas.
now.
Ew.
We have Beyonce.
Ew.
Ooh, Beyonce.
I know, but
the single ladies. The single
no, but Beyonce, no. Beyonce wouldn't. I mean, maybe like
you can go for
Judy Garland.
Ugh, she's old now.
I mean, she's dead.
But is she dead?
Judy Garland died when I was a kid.
Wait, I was talking about another.
Man, I don't know if you're talking to Judy Garland now, but that's another episode.
Maybe Julie Andrews.
Julie Andrews is dead too.
Really?
Yeah. The hills are alive.
No, she's living.
Is she really? Is she single?
Dude.
I just want to know. I'm not going to leave my wife. I love my wife. Annette, I love you. That was just a slip.
Oh my gosh. We are not promoting adultery.
It's because of the water. The water, there's something in the water.
It's actually vodka. It's not water.
No, but I feel like a lot of people that I've really thought were like really cool. So I I have a few. I would follow Denzel Washington. I think Denzel's pretty cool. So I would follow
The Rock.
No.
The Rock Johnson.
No, Dwayne. Because I'm so jealous because I can't make my breast shake like his does. He can do it in rhythm. It's like boom, 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 boom. I think that's pretty cool.
You can follow Obama, so not a black guy from Kenya.
No, but you know what? But I did read President Obama's book. Yeah, I love the book. Oh my gosh.
Why didn't you read Michelle Obama's book?
I have that one too.
Why haven't you read it?
I got halfway through and I was just like.
You were like.
No, I fell asleep.
Oh wow.
And I haven't picked it back up. And then. So I don't know. But I thought her book was interesting, but I just felt like, because there's a lot about her childhood and stuff like that, and her brother stuff in the beginning, and so.
I really like that.
Really? Okay,
Maybe it's a lady book.
I think so. It's like going to a girls' movie. It's like everyone's like, "Oh, it was so nice."
Hey, what are you talking about? We're from Sweden here. There are no girls' movies.
That's all we have in girl. We don't have anything else in Sweden.
Really?
Only girl movies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what can I say? Okay.
So finally, if we conclude
yes.
stuff, how do you think can we influence the culture we're living in?
Oh well, okay. Should I say something serious now, or do I have to? Can I do a joke?
You should start using your TikTok account.
Yeah, I mean,
who wants to see Ed doing something fun on TikTok?
See, only you. See, look. That's what kind of crazy church we are. Because people in our church are like, and people in our fans out here, they're like,
Snapchat
TikTok,
then.
we don't have TikTok.
Snapchat then.
They don't have Snapchat either.
Instagram then.
No, okay, now you're starting to get to them.
Like, depending on how old you are.
Exactly. It's like,
what about stone
like
tablets?
stone
tablets.
Smoke signals. We'll burn stuff in the middle of the city. People, oh look, I can read the smoke signals. Ed and Lynn are doing something really interesting. Let's go to church. No, I think that. So to all the old people, if you were born in the 60s or later, so 60s, 70s, 80s.
You mean earlier?
No,
later?
later than the 60s. So if you're born in the 70s, you're later than the 60s?
Yeah.
Because 70 comes after 60.
I'm not dumb. I'm just young.
Well,
I'm just young, not dumb.
Well. No, but I think that, like, learn whichever you can and try to get your voice out there in the social ocean. And there's a lot of voices out there. But I think that's one way to influence people. And the other thing is just be yourself. Just wherever you're at, be the salt and the light, and just be yourself. And if you're really yourself, I think that you'll have an influence in
and
people's
I think
lives.
you'll find nutbags that have similar opinions and likes like you, because now you're in the global world.
Yeah, everyone around the world
I mean,
knows me.
before you maybe were in your village and you were the nutbag there because there was no one else around you who was like that. But now you can connect
You were
with
the village nutbag.
But now you can connect with the other nutbags in the rest of the world, and then you can be the group of nutbags, and then you become a church. Here we are.
We're a church of the Holy Nutbag. Here's our pastor, Nutbag 1.
Here you go. Thank you guys for listening, and thank you guys who are watching.
Thanks everyone for watching again.
Let us know if you want to see more, because we are going to continue producing podcasts for you guys, for your entertainment. But if you want to see us actually, let us know.
Yeah, so there's always this experiment about when we're doing our live podcast. Hey, Itai. Do you have anything else you want to say? Say nya 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 nya. Say ha.
He's just eating the microphone.
I know. He's like, only when you take the microphone away can I say something. All right, but keep sending in your questions. Especially about real life problems and everything. We like to interact with you guys, and keep supporting us. Tell your friends and everyone. Thumbs up. Keep subscribing.
Go to YouTube. Go to Spotify. Go to iTunes.
Yes,
go to Podbean.
We're
Tell
all
your
over
friends.
the place. We're like peanut butter.
Spread it all over the place.
We're all over the place. But thanks for watching us for this live edition on the Culture Night special on Fika for Life. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Take care. See you next time.
Thank you for listening. If you have any comments or ideas, please send us a message to fikaforlife@mail.com. Fika, F-I-K-A. This was the Fika for Life podcast with Lin Nguyen and Edward Thomas, and we hope to hear you again.